there's a lot to talk about far beyond all of that, which we're going to get into, and some stuff that's pretty important. No, I want to make sure I get this cued.
This one looks okay.
Listener since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080.
Here we go.
Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, welcome to the program, everyone. It is Wednesday already, June 12th, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio this year. All right, we've got so much to cover. We will talk about the Hunter Biden verdict in a little bit. There's so much to talk about beyond that corrupt courtroom and that corrupt verdict. A lot of other things have happened as well, and we're going to cover a lot of them. I want to start, though, talking about really a disgusting, perverted, outrageous segment on Neil Cavuto's show with Paul Ryan yesterday on Fox News. I don't watch Cavuto. I have not watched Cavuto in years. I've never liked this guy. I remember I've never liked him. Never. Okay? Even when I was a Fox News watcher, I never liked Neil Cavuto. He's in love with himself. And I watched this guy. This was before I left Fox years ago. But he had this, and I'm sure he still has it, this very annoying, very arrogant habit of when he says something, he pauses and smiles, which means he thinks he's so cool and so hip, and he pauses because the audience is supposed to ponder the brilliance that he just uttered over the airwaves. There was a guy that did a conservative radio show out of Atlanta. What was his name? Neil Bortz. Anybody, was it Bortz? Was that his name? Anybody remember Neil Bortz? Is he still alive? Neil Bortz. Oh, this guy, I know, he used to just, Neil Bortz, you got to listen to Neil Bortz. So I tuned him in, and this guy would take these long, dramatic pauses, and it's kind of like the Cavuto pause. He would go on this long monologue. If I take a pause, it's because I got to take a drink of coffee or water or something, or gather my thoughts. These guys, they take these pauses so the audience can just be amazed and wonder at the brilliance that they just shared over the airwaves. I mean, it's amazing. Some of these guys, this is true in television. It's also true with some radio guys I've worked with over the years. You know, we have to wear headphones when we're on the air. TV guys don't. And the reason you wear headphones is so you can hear what's going out over the air. You can hear yourself. You can hear the callers and stuff. And I've known guys. This sounds very crazy to people, but I've known many guys like this that almost become sexually aroused listening to their own voice in their headphones. I'm not kidding you. And that's kind of the feeling I get when I used to watch Cavuto. So I've never liked that jerk. And then he pulled a stunt on TV after January 6th that forever stopped me from ever watching Neil Cavuto ever again. And I can't remember when exactly this was. It may have been on January 6th, but it may have been within a few days after. It's been a long time. But President Trump came out to speak from the White House. Fox News breaks to it immediately. And then Cavuto comes in. See, that wasn't one of those dramatic pauses. I was trying to think of something. I don't want you to think I'm doing like that Neil Bortz pause. Wow, wasn't that brilliant? I was trying to, what was the name of the guy that ate hamburgers that hung out with Popeye? You remember his name? Wimpy? Was it Wimpy? I was trying to think of Wimpy's name. That's who Neil Cavuto is. Wimpy, Popeye's friend, eating all the hamburgers all the time. And this was, it may have been January 6th, but it could have been in the few days after. So President Trump comes on from the White House. He was outside, and he's addressing the American people. And Fox News, they're carrying it live. Then Blimpy Cavuto comes in and says, we must cut away from this. The President of the United States is speaking, and he could incite a riot. And we can't have that on the air. And I said to myself, you mother guy, I'm done with you, Neil Cavuto. And some of you may remember that. I talked about it at the time, but some of you may have been watching. I've never seen anything so outrageous in my life. I never liked this guy. And he used to have Trump on all the time before he was president, and then he turned. And I've heard a lot of people say, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard a lot of people say that Neil Cavuto thought that Trump should have made him the Secretary of Treasury or something. You maybe make him the Secretary of Hamburgers or something, or French fries, or the deep Secretary of everything deep fried. Maybe that would be it. But, he's the worst. He's worse than Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid combined. And what makes him worse is he hides his hate behind the Fox News brand as if he's just some conservative guy. He's not. He's not. He's another one of these groupies, too. He has a mansion not too far from Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach. So anyway, he had Paul Ryan on. I got a couple clips of it that I want to share with you. He had Paul Ryan on, who's a real beaut. And again, I don't want you to think I was watching this. I saw this online, and I was like, okay, this is insane. I saw this last night right before I went to bed, and then when I woke up this morning, there was even some longer. There were even some longer segments. So Paul Ryan is his guest, and Paul Ryan, who many people call Eddie Munster, he does look like Eddie Munster, all grown up. He's on the board of directors at Fox. He hates Trump like the plague. He's the reason the wall wasn't finished because, we controlled him and McConnell. We controlled both the House and the Senate and the White House in Trump's first 2 years. And Paul Ryan and all his sleazy scumbags around him held up everything Trump was doing. And something's up with this guy. He's relatively young for a politician, and he left Congress and stepped down from being Speaker of the House. That's like a lifetime job of prestige and royalty where you're almost equal to the president. And he walked away from that. And it's not just for the big payday. That was always coming for him. There's just something up with this guy. He's up to a lot of no good. But MAGA people, we hate Paul Ryan. And Paul Ryan is everything about Fox News that has turned us off. So Cavuto sits down and got a couple clips. Here's the first one. Cavuto is asking Paul Ryan about so many people hating him, detesting you, and asking him his thoughts on this. Let's play this first one. Here we go.
Finally, a lot of our viewers knew you were coming on, and a lot of them intrinsically dislike you for some reason. They think you're pulling the strings here at Fox.
Yeah, he is. Fox News, of course he's pulling the strings. Of course he's pulling the strings. And, when that jerk left Congress and started working at Fox, all of a sudden they became the Never-Trumper channel.
Finally, a lot of our viewers knew you were coming on, and a lot of them intrinsically dislike you for some reason. They think you're pulling the strings here at Fox. You're part of this anti-Trump, Never-Trumper movement. They even equate me with you to say that, all right, they're kindred spirits. And obviously Donald Trump is saying that you should be fired by Rupert Murdoch. When you hear all of that, what do you say?
I've been in politics a long time. I have really thick skin, and frankly,
actually,
I don't think about it.
You notice there's no denial of any of that. There's no denial that he's pulling the strings, that he hates Trump, that he's turning Fox, trying to turn people against Trump through Fox. No denials of it.
Fit guy.
Yeah, I don't think about that. I literally don't think about it. No.
Wow. So he say, yeah, it's true, but I just don't think about it. Screw you all. Screw Fox. And I'll tell you what, Fox News became number one in cable news because of conservative voters that are now MAGA people. We made them number one, and then they, betray us.
don't think about
You're a
that.
very thin, fit guy.
Yeah, I don't think about that.
A little.
I literally don't think about it. No.
Does he
Not
ever
really.
raise it with you?
Not
Like,
really.
hey, he's not popular.
No. Does who raise it with me?
Rupert Murdoch.
No.
Lachlan Murdoch.
No.
No one.
No.
It's just the unspoken issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so there's an admission. It's just an unspoken. Yeah. So Paul Ryan said, "Yeah, I hate him. I want to destroy him, and I'm pulling all the strings here, including the big strings, because we need big strings for you, Cavuto, because you're so obese."
All right.
It's free country.
It is
Say
that.
what you want.
It is that. Paul Bryant, very good seeing you.
Yeah, very good seeing you now. Screw off. Okay, so then a little earlier in the interview, this guy is demonic. This is everything about thought control through the television set. So then earlier in that interview, he says that President Trump is unfit for office. Listen.
Reform in 2016, hoping that there was going to be a different kind of person in office. And I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened?
I think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th then?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution, an oath you swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Does it?
Okay, he says that Trump's unfit for office. When has he put himself above the Constitution? Beware of these permanent Washington people. Anytime they say they're upholding the Constitution, they're tearing it apart and burning it. Paul Ryan, what Paul Ryan's thing is with Trump, it's about control of the party. Okay? Control of the party, because that's where the money is. The Paul Ryans, Mitt Romneys, the Bushes, and the rest are very comfortable losing every election from now and forever as long as they're running the party. They like having it because they could take all the money, like the Ukraine money as an example. All right? They don't like the fact that they've lost control of their country club, these country club Republicans. That's what it's all about. It's about loss of control of the Republican Party because Trump has retaken it. It wasn't easy, but he's retaken it. Well, I don't know, retaken it. He took it over from them. And they no longer control it. The Republican establishment was completely defeated when the Trump family took over the RNC. Now, this thing about Paul Ryan at Fox, which was a complete admission to everything that Cavuto asked him about and that we've suspected since he went over there to the board of directors, that doesn't mean that everyone on Fox is bad. There's a lot of good people there that do like Trump. All right? But when you got the big man and you got the big boss who's sitting around in his demonic admissions there that he's a never-Trumper and he's saving the country and our Constitution by opposing him, that has an impact over the conflict, over the content. And I know a lot of you will say, well, I don't watch Fox News. Well, that's very self-centered of you. Many millions of people do that are conservative, and they have a lot of influence. And one thing I've talked about many times over the years, that it's not as bad as it used to be, but this is still true. For so many millions of Americans, a story is not true until it's on television. As an example, this corrupt juror in the Trump trial in New York, that story dropped on Friday. I haven't seen the television news report anything on it since Friday, and it's disappeared. So the TV news, the cable news, has more influence than people realize, far beyond what people realize. Just because I don't get my news from TV at all, okay? I don't. First off, it's not just the bias, it's just too slow. There's nothing they're going to share that I don't already know much more about than they're sharing, unless there's a breaking news event. I've been watching it a little bit more during the Trump trial, and I was watching yesterday because of the Hunter verdict, but, I could even get that faster on Twitter if I, wanted to sit there in front of my phone. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our first break of this Wednesday. I'm Brian, back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
It's disgusting.
This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Your home is your safe space.
It's disgusting.
So what happens when a burglar
And it pisses me off.
possessions can be replaced, but the feelings of helplessness and violation felt
pisses me off.
And your family with the award-winning Sloman Shield home security system. It's never been easier or more affordable than now to make the switch to Sloman's. When you call 833-283-5050, you get a free home security system, plus your choice of a free interior monitoring camera or programmable thermostat when you subscribe to the Sloman's low-cost monitoring system for 5 years. With the Sloman Shield, you can arm and disarm your system.
That's right. They think the taxes, the treasury, is their personal money.
Even turn your lights on and off right from your smartphone or tablet. Call 833-283-5050 now and ask about a free home security system. You'll save money and gain peace of mind knowing your family is secure with Sloman's. Call 833-283-5050 today.
I'm going to play this audio, but I'm not sure if I need to bleep it. Let me listen again. Oh my gosh. No, it's not The View. It sounds like The View. Yeah. It does sound like The View.
Trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog Days of Summer Sale. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing, and we even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True.
All righty, coming up on 22 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Richie.
Hey, Richie.
Can I say something? Can I say something about one of your sponsors to give a plug?
Only if it's good.
It's very good. I had my house built 9 years ago, okay, and the builder put in radiant barrier, and he showed me a demonstration before I bought the house. Literally, you can keep. I put my house on 69 during the 90-something degree heat, and the air conditioning doesn't continue to run. It's cold in here. Mm-hmm. Radiant barrier saves 30 to 40% off your electric bill. It's worth every dime. So
absolutely.
There's on the fence. Anyone, I'm telling you, it's great. That's what I want to get that.
Well, I appreciate that, Richie. You're very right. It's something you got to really experience. It's really a miracle. Yeah, I remember when we first met. Scott's been with us for 15 years every summer, and when we first met him and he told us about it, I was like, "Come on, there's no way. Why isn't this in every house?" And then when I saw it and experienced it, it's amazing. So I appreciate that. So what else is on your mind, Richie?
All right, Paul Ryan. Okay, let me tell you a little something about Paul Ryan. Do you remember? I know what my wife was saying. What were you forced to pay the government, Brian? And this is a little quiz. What were you forced every month to pay while Paul Ryan was the Speaker of the House. Do you remember what you were forced every month to fork out?
No.
It was your health care.
Oh.
Obamacare was a mandate.
Yeah.
They forced you. It wasn't a choice. You had to pay it. You had to be, and thank God Trump got rid of the mandate so you could bail out of it. Now, Paul Ryan had an opportunity. He was the one in charge when President Trump tried to get it knocked out. He didn't get the votes, and I believe that was on purpose.
Yeah, you know, and the way health insurance, and Paul Ryan stopped this. The way health insurance works is you can only buy it from insurance companies within your state. And President Trump wanted to open up the marketplace. Like if you're in Florida, you can only buy health insurance from insurance companies in Florida. If you're in Hawaii, only Hawaiian companies. And President Trump wanted to open it up where you could buy, in Florida, you could buy an insurance policy from someone in Alaska. And Paul Ryan stopped that because of the big money that the insurance companies poured in. And the wall was not finished because of that snake.
No, yeah, he had a lot of influence there. He was a dirtbag, okay? And anybody that...
I'm going to correct you. He still is a dirtbag. He still is a dirtbag.
The picture of him when he was talking, and above him was this giant portrait of himself.
Oh, my goodness. Really? A portrait of himself over him?
So big. It's so big. It was...
Well, if the bigger the portrait, the smaller the penis.
The portrait was... I got to tell you, the portrait...
Maybe he's impotent. Maybe he's impotent. Who would have a portrait of themselves that big over their head?
Yeah, egomaniac.
Yeah.
An egomaniac of himself. And like, you know, he was so proud to become speaker. Then he ran with Mitt Romney. May I say more to anybody out there about Mitt Romney?
Snake.
Coat. Let me tell you, these two, I'm so glad that they never got in power. We were really... I voted for them. I was duped. And Paul Ryan has single-handedly cost Fox how many viewers?
Oh, millions. You
know, they can hate Trump all you want. They all hate Trump, but it doesn't make...
And you hear, and he admitted it to Cavuto on the air yesterday. He's like, yeah, well, it's America. We all have our opinions. Yeah, well, you know what they say about opinions.
I'm going to give him one opinion. You're going to vote... This is to Mr. Ryan. If you're listening to this show, I hope you are. If you're going to vote against President Trump, I'm going to wash your vote out by voting for him.
Yeah.
You have no more influence in this country than I do.
Well, Cavuto, who was, it was an interesting interview because Cavuto and him are on the same page. Cavuto wanted it known that Paul Ryan is this way. Why are they advertising that? I wonder.
You're gonna vote for Trump, so you're gonna what? You're gonna.
Yeah, well, he's voting for Biden. Yeah, he's voting for Biden. That's obvious.
Yeah. So you're gonna watch his vote with Trump.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Brian, they don't have any more influence over. Thank God they only have one vote like I do. Who the hell do they think they are to endorse? I wouldn't listen to one of those guys for 5 minutes. But
Richie, I'm telling you, many millions of people still watch the cable news, and it has a tremendous impact still. You don't, I don't. If it weren't for Steve, I would watch zero. But Steve's into the TV still, But it still is very influential to millions of people, and that's unfortunate. But that's a reality we got to deal with.
Yeah, but Paul Ryan, you're right. You're right on the dime. This is a dirtbag. Today he's a dirtbag. He was a dirtbag. He undercut President Trump at every move. Remember, we had the White House, we had the Senate, and we had the Congress. We had all three governments.
And all he did with his with that Chinese agent Mitch McConnell, is try to stop Trump in every way, and they did. They said the wall was not finished because of Paul Ryan. All right, Richie, I got to run. Thanks for the call. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh yeah, I don't get angry very much about people. I'm really pissed off at that guy. Oh, yeah. I'm glad. It is raining like crazy. It rained all day and night last night. I need the rain at my house. Hopefully it'll continue today.
Now, a True Oldies traffic check.
If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
We got a lot of rain yesterday, so there's
Yeah, we did.
flood watch in effect. This traffic report is sponsored by Macy's. There is a flood watch in effect until Thursday. That was reported by the National Weather Service. And downtown West Palm Beach, there's construction on Detura Street between Flagler Drive and Dixie Highway. That was reported by the city of West Palm.
Guys, I'm putting this, I posted this in the chat yesterday.
You're heading southbound.
I'm going to post it again today. This is a podcast for some people I'm working with to try to help them
Father's Day gift with Macy's gift
get their
card.
podcast off the ground.
You'll get personalized gift
So
ideas
if you
for
could click on that
everyone.
episode and subscribe to it and give it a listen, I'd appreciate it.
Love today at Macy's.
They're just starting out. I'm trying to help them get their... I help people with their podcast quite a bit, actually. And trying to help them. So if you could click that link and subscribe or follow, whatever it asks you to do, and take a listen, I'd appreciate it.
Exciting tournaments. Grab your friends and check out the $10 poker party on Friday, June 28th. It's a great way for new players to experience tournament play. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hi, this is Gabriel.
We'll be back shortly.
Cash Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house in South Florida and want to sell it fast for a great price, call me at 561-570-7070. I can pay cash and close in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. I can even pay you a cash advance before the closing. I'm a local cash buyer and I'm looking to purchase more houses.
Yeah, I'm trying to cool off because I'm so pissed off at Paul Ryan. I never get pissed off at people like that. But that one really pisses me off. Really pisses me off.
Foreclosures and haunted houses. Woo! Do you own a vacant house or one that is trashed and needs thousands in repairs? Great! I love buying fixer-uppers. Regardless of your situation, I understand that life happens, and I'm here to help you. If you own a home and want to sell it fast and easy, I'll buy it. Call me at 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract.
If by a good person you mean a a-hole, you're correct. If that's what a good person is to you.
If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too: residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com.
We'll be back in 30 seconds.
City Festival Business Expo and Health Fair is coming up Saturday, June 15th at Miami Springs Golf and Country Club from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The True Oldies channel will be on site from 12 to 2 with some great giveaways, fun, and more. Come out and see us Saturday, June 15th. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce City Festival Business Expo and Health Fair at Miami Springs Golf and Country Club, 650 Curtis Parkway in Miami Springs. Learn more at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Yeah, you know, a lot of people may say, why are you getting so upset about Fox? You know, Fox, I'll tell you exactly why. It's a betrayal. It's a betrayal of me and you. You know, Fox News went on the air in 1994, and no one watched it for years. They didn't watch it till the 2000 recount here in Florida. And it's a long. Can you believe it's been 24 years since the 2000 recount? That's crazy. But during the 2000 recount, which was here in South Florida and Broward and Palm Beach, I used to go to the vote count location every day. They did it in Broward in two places. The first wave they did was at the Broward County Governmental Center in Plantation, right next to the library on Broward Boulevard. Is it Pine Island or Nob Hill? I can't remember, but you know which one, where they have that round courthouse. You know what I'm talking about? It was over there. And I used to go there every day, and it was amazing. I'd go over there every day, and I'd bump into Bob Dole. I bumped into one day. Bob Dole had just run for president a couple years before that, and he was the nominee for the Republican Party. I just bumped into him. And there were people like that every day. But all the national media were there, and at the time I lived in Plantation. My wife and I, we had a condo in Plantation, and it was right down the street from where I lived. I went there every day, and all the national media were there, the network, and all the cable news were there. And I was there so much. I was on TV a lot, and I've even seen myself on stories on the History Channel. I've seen when they've talked about the 2000 recount. There was this one instance when it was CBS News was interviewing the network. They were interviewing a black woman who was telling them that she wasn't allowed to vote. And they were talking to her about it, and I was standing there watching, and I just said, this was when they were actually interviewing this woman, CBS News, and I butted in, I said, excuse me, I said, when they told you couldn't vote, who did you report it to? And she says, what do you mean? And she started yelling at me, don't you tell me I was disenfranchised! And I said to the reporter, I said, you see how this woman is screaming at me? You mean to tell me that this woman, I've said two words, and she's barking and screaming in my face at me, that she went to vote and they said she couldn't vote and she just walked away and went home? She's lying to you. And the woman started screaming. This was on CBS News. It was crazy. She was pointing at me and yelling at me. And that clip has made it on the History Channel, and I've seen it in a couple of documentaries. You only see me if you know it's me, okay? You got to know what you're looking for. And that was 24 years ago. I was a little younger. But I used to go there every single day. And the national news were there. And that's when Fox News became number one. When they went on the air in 94 until then, no one watched them, really. They had very low ratings. And they were the only ones that were properly reporting at that time on what was going on, okay? And you've heard me talk about this many times on the air. William LaJeunesse, who's still at Fox, but he's out in California now, he was the reporter that Fox News had covering the recount in Broward County back then in 2000. And between segments, I would see people, Republicans, just regular guys like you or me, go up to him and shake his hand and say, thank you, we've had all this liberal news. And now we've got someone out there that's reporting the news. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing. And they became number one after that. And now they betrayed us. They're worse than MSNBC. We got Newsmax, and they're doing great, but they're knocking them off as many things as they possibly can. So I take personally the Fox News betrayal. Okay, I really do. Because you and I made them number one, and they betrayed us. Much like DeSantis when he started running against Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You're right, there are still millions of people that watch Fox News, but the thing is what is the age group of those millions of people?
I don't know. They're alive. I mean, I don't know.
They're alive, but they're in Steve Kane's age group, right?
So what does that mean? They're like you're a young man, Mike. How old are you?
Well, I'm in my 50s.
Okay.
News anymore.
Yeah.
I get my news in other places like you.
Well, what's going on with Fox is they're going cable news has gone the way of newspapers. They're still out there, but nobody really pays attention.
Yeah, that's right, and that's the thing. I mean, these people you may have people at Fox that still may want to support Trump, but they're getting a paycheck from Fox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe Hannity still wants to support Trump, but he still needs that paycheck. You know.
Well, yeah, needs it. He's getting paid like over $50 million a year between the radio and the TV. Yeah, of course. All right, hey, appreciate the call, Mike. Good points. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Fox News did it to themselves, just like the rhinos, like DeSantis. They burned themselves, burnt the bridges, and the anti-Trumpers, that TDS is real, Trump derangement syndrome. The guy has done everything good for the country, put we the people first, did so much, and they are against that.
Yep.
Just think about that. They're against America being great again.
Mm-hmm.
That says it all.
Yeah.
They're against Trump because they're against us.
Yes.
And I just wanted to bring up one more thing, Brian. Did you see Giuliani's mugshot?
I did.
He's laughing. The mayor of New York City during 9/11, argumentatively one of the best prosecutors ever, being brought up on bogus charges, and
always remember that Mayor Giuliani is a war hero. He is a war hero from 9/11, when everyone else in the government, from George Bush to Joe Biden, were in hiding in bunkers and on military bases. He was at ground zero during the attack, taking charge. And them putting him and them arresting him over and over and breaking into his house, it's like arresting Audie Murphy or Sergeant York. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting, Brian. That man has done so much for America, and people are seeing through this, because the more they go against Trump and his colleagues with these bogus, outrageous things, more people are just coming to the realization, listen, we need to get Trump back in there. Things were better. Why are they still doing this to these people? I just believe America's waking up, and it's going to be better and better. And we can't wait for November 5th. I believe he's going to win Minnesota, and I believe he can win New York State, Brian.
Absolutely. All right, take care. Appreciate the call, Jeff. Great call so far today. We've started off on a high note. I love it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up, man? This is Rick from Coral Springs.
Hey, what's up, Coral Springs?
Hey, man, did you hear about the ships that are out there right off the coast of Cuba?
You talking about the Russian ships?
Yeah, the Russian ships.
Sure, I have. What?
Think about that. What do you think about that? I'm hearing you by
nothing. Yeah. Don't let me interrupt the compliment.
No. Go ahead.
I have no thoughts. Russian ships. First off, Russia's not a threat to us. Probably never were. And Russian ships have been going to Cuba since before I was born. This is not new. So there's nothing to think about it. The Russian ships go through there all the time. This is not new. It's not unique. And Russia's not a threat. This is being promoted out there. It's propaganda, groupthink. They're trying to get us to hate on Russia. Oh, they got Russians off our shore. They've always got Russians off our shore. That's how they get to Cuba. And the Russians have been going to Cuba since Castro took power. It's nothing. Big nothing.
True.
What have you heard other people comment on it? People seem alarmed.
So, yeah, they seem because of the nuclear ships and
the ships I'm concerned about. The ships I'm concerned about. I've heard that Zelensky has 2 yachts. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard it. So what about those? Those are the ones we need to worry about, because how do you buy those with our money?
We need to be careful about the ships that are bringing in these kids and and all kinds of people, man. There's a lot of things going on, trafficking of children.
Yeah.
If you checked out that movie, The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, I know about it. I don't watch movies about children or animals being hurt or exploited, but you're right. Yes.
People need to open up their eyes. It's a crazy.
Yeah, well, that's the world of Biden. You have nothing to worry about with Russian ships. First of all, what kind of ships are these, and what are they doing? And if they're naval vessels, what kind of condition are they in? You know, the Russian Navy is not that advanced. What would they be doing to hurt us? There's nothing to worry about with Russia. Russia is not our enemy. They are not a threat. There's nothing suspicious about them going to Cuba. They've been going there for all our lives. But I appreciate the call from Coral Springs. All right, take care. Now, it's raining like all the time now. If you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you know what that means? You got a leak in your roof. And you want to call Tom Laporta. Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need. And I'm going to tell you this. The number we give out is Tom Laporta's cell phone. He's a good MAGA guy, and that phone rings directly to his cell phone. And Laporta Contracting covers the entire state of Florida. All right? Let me give you his number, which I do not have at my fingertips, guys. I thought I had it right there, and I don't. Hold on. I know I got it somewhere. Here it is. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Again, that rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. 954-604-4602. He covers the entire state of Florida, the East Coast, the West Coast, and everywhere in between. You can also find him online at laportacontracting.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 here on The Steve Kane Show.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, Brian.
Now, guys, I mentioned this in the last break. I pinned at the top of the chat a link to my friend's podcast. I'm helping them get their podcast off the ground. So if you could click that link and subscribe to their podcast and take a listen, I'd appreciate it. Trying to get their new podcast some attention and grow. So just click that link. And I'm going to put a link in the description of the episode, too. It's not there now. Hold on. I will put a link in the description for those that are not watching live. Hold on. It's not there yet. I got to put it in. Let's see if it's in there. Okay, yes, I just put a link in the description if you're not watching live. So if you guys would check out that podcast, take a listen, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. It's so hard for people to get a new podcast started. Whole world is going crazy. Absolutely.
First of all, he does make a great product, great pillows. I actually use them, believe it or not. He's been a supporter from day one. The My Pillow guy, thank you. And he's been with us right from the beginning.
As always, President Trump is right. The My Pillow is so good, even President Trump sleeps on one. Support Mike Lindell, President Trump, and the Steve Kane Show at the same time. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout for huge savings on My Pillow products. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
All right, we're back. Now, before I get into the Washington politics, I want to talk about something else just briefly here, which, bear with me, okay? You know, the feminazis, remember Rush used to call them the feminazis? the feminazis used Harvey Weinstein to take over Hollywood. And I'm not saying Harvey Weinstein was a good guy, but the casting couch is part of Hollywood. I mean, you go to a producer's hotel room, what do you think that's about? Come on, give me a break, you know? And that's the way it is. That's how the entertainment industry is. When I was starting out in radio, I was propositioned by both gay men and straight women when I was young and starting out that were in positions of authority at radio stations and TV stations, because I did some work a little bit in TV when I was starting out, you know. And if I would have had sex with those men or the women, it was mostly gay men. Okay, full disclosure, it's the business. But there were women too. I would have gotten moved up a little bit here and there over the years when I was starting out. And you know what? I didn't do it. I didn't go to people's hotel rooms in the middle of the night or alone, and and they come out in towels and be, oh, shocker. Didn't do any of that. It's a choice you make. So the feminazis have taken over Hollywood, and there's this new Star Wars show called The Acolyte, and the 3rd episode just dropped last night. I watched it this morning before I came in. Star Wars is something special to not just me, but every guy my age, okay? When that trailer came out for that new Star Wars movie, that was total garbage. We didn't know it was a movie. And Han Solo and Chewbacca walk on the Millennium Falcon for the first time since 1983 and say, and Harrison Ford says, Chewie, we're home. I was not the only guy crying, okay? A lot of guys my age were crying. And then we saw the movie and we were crying. I remember I went and saw that in the theater, and the guy in front of me, he was about my age. He had the biggest drink. He says, if I have to pee, I'm using this cup, he said. I'm not leaving. And then, we were crying at the end because the movie was so bad. But they have the feminazis have taken over Hollywood. And Star Wars is very special to guys, not just men my age, but it's mostly special to guys my age who were old enough to see, when we were a child, Star Wars in the movie theater in its original theatrical release in 1977. It was a phenomenon like no other, and it was amazing, okay? And it's a big part of my life, and a lot of guys that are my age. So this new show, the feminazis, who are also gay, they're, the Force, right, that gives Jedi their power, the Acolyte is giving us the history of the Force. And you know what the Force is? I am not making this up. I wish I was. The Force is a black lesbian. I'm serious. The Force is a black lesbian. That's the new Star Wars. Yeah, isn't that nice? And I just want to play this clip, and then I'll get back to the Washington politics. But I got to share this because I watched this 3rd episode of it today, and I couldn't. The Force is a black lesbian. There you go. That's it. It's insane. It's completely insane. Of course, the star of the show is a black actress, and she went on The Daily Show with that guy that they fired. I don't know his name, but they brought Jon Stewart back. But a lot of people were very upset about this new show because we heard about a lot of it before it came out. And she went on The Daily Show, and they asked her about the controversies. A lot of people are upset with your show. So what's the point of your show, he asks her. Listen to this. This is nuts.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
White people...
What happened? Why did I lose the sound there all of a sudden? I just played it during the break and it worked. Hold on, let's try it again.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
White people...
I just played this during the break in its entirety, and now when it gets to that part, it's not playing. What's going on? Oh, my goodness.
White people...
Yeah, I'll find it again. I will find it again on another... I played that during the break like 3 times, and it worked fine. So I'm going to have to find it again and play it. But it's the clip. She says the point of the show is to make white men cry. I'm going to find it again. Who cares? We're live. Whatever. It's early in the morning, so just bear with me. And then after I get this off my chest, I'll get back to the normal politics. But there is a point to be made here that is very important to the future of everything in this country. But I'll find her saying it again because it's all over X. Hold on. It's not hard to find. Okay, here we go again. Okay, here it is. It's got to work this time.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Actress Amandla Stenberg. She's now the lead actress in the new Star Wars show Acolyte, which is on Disney+. Check this out. This is her back in 2018 talking about another...
Yeah.
To make art.
When people watch The Hate You Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal.
Oh, yeah, isn't that funny? So her driving force as an actor is to make white people cry. And, you know, this anti-white bigotry that is coming out of this country today, it's not just Hollywood, it's everywhere, that is being promoted by the Biden regime. This is one of the reasons we got to elect Trump. I've never seen such open racism. This is what it used to be like, of course, with the skin colors reversed, when Democrats were opposing the integration of the public schools and such. And you'd see those white people yelling the N-word at those black students at Little Rock. And how could that happen? We're seeing it now. And this is on national television, and they think it's funny. Could you imagine? You did that shoe on the other foot test. If you had a white actress who says, well, the purpose of everything I do and my performances is to make black people cry. You know, they'd be done. They'd never get another job again because they would be deemed a racist. But anti-white racism is acceptable in our society today. And not only is that acceptable, anti-Semitism is acceptable. Now, this, we got, help me with my, I'm going to play this, and I listened to it a couple times. I don't think I have to dump anything in it, but I might, because this is a woman who's very upset. So if something needs to be dumped, bang on the window there, and I'll hit the dump button if I miss it, because I'm going to be listening carefully. This is insane. This is a pro-Palestinian protester at an event with a Jewish activist, two women, and of course they're arguing over the attack on Israel and such. Listen.
I'm not around. Does your question screaming mean that you feel shut the hell up. It's not time to be calm right now. You murder children and you support the murder of children. You support
Okay, now this Hamas supporting lady is screaming at the Jewish lady, you support the murder of children.
You what? If my child was here, you would want to murder her. They weren't raped, that's a lie.
Okay, the Jewish woman said, well, what about the raped women? And then she said, they weren't raped. That's a lie. Really? That was consensual sex? These women consented to have strangers come in on ultralight airplanes and put rifles to their head and have sex with them and then kill them? That was consensual? What about all these hostages that have come back pregnant?
They weren't raped, that's a lie. We established it was a lie. We saw that what the Israeli soldiers did to the women. We saw what the Israeli soldiers did to the women, right? Then what you guys said was rape was a lie, right? Right?
Well, the rapes are a lie. We saw it. It's been seen. We saw the attack on the music festival. There were cameras everywhere.
It's a lie.
Literal
It was a lie.
We're live streaming.
It was a lie. You liar. Lie more than you breathe.
You scream.
I don't care if I have a right to scream. If you're not screaming, you should be. Who would have screamed over?
I mean, my goodness.
Do you condemn what Hamas has done?
She says, I support Hamas. I am Hamas. That's in the United States, by the way. That's not the West Bank or something. The damage that Barack Obama has done to this country is beyond measure, okay? You know, when all the suicide, homicide bombings were going on in Israel during the era of Arafat, there were always a handful of lunatics that would support the terrorist. They were a very small group. They didn't have these huge marches. You didn't see them in numbers like this. And now they're here by the millions, taking over not just American cities, but all of our major college campuses. That's all Obama. That racism I'm talking about with the Star Wars, you know, with the critical race theory, this woman saying she's Hamas, that is the legacy of Barack Obama. You think his 8 years were kind of like boring. He didn't do much. He changed this country in ways that we're only now realizing in 2024. And he very well may be, next to Lyndon Johnson with the Great Society, the most destructive person ever to this country to be president of it. Really, it's god-awful. And he's doing it still now through Biden. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. We'll come back with more of your calls, and I got a lot more to cover as well. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show, back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3
Insane.
FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, South Florida. First one of meteorologist Vanessa Pinez from WPBF 25 News. It's going to be a rainy day. We'll see those temperatures climbing into the low to mid-80s. Scattered rain and thunderstorms as well. The potential for flooding will continue today into your Thursday, with temperatures staying below average.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
We've been dealing with a lot of rain from yesterday and overnight, so be careful. There's going to be slick road conditions and flooding to deal with. This traffic report sponsored by Taco Bell. In fact, there's a flood watch in effect until Thursday. That was reported by the National Weather Service. There's a crash in West Palm Beach on I-95 heading northbound at the off-ramp to 45th Street. That's blocking the off-ramp there. And there's also road work on Congress Avenue heading southbound just north of Boynton Beach Boulevard. That has 2 left lanes blocked. The Cravings Value Menu from Taco Bell, 10 items each for just $3 or less, including faves like the cheesy double beef burrito, loaded beef nachos, and the 3-cheese chicken flatbread melt at participating U.S. stores while supplies last. Price varies, tax extra, double seasoned beef compared to the Burrito Supreme. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, treat Dad to a special day with great food and fun at PBK.
Okay, where else? I got a lot to cover here.
Get 20% off your check on Father's Day. The paddock features over 140 new HD TVs and big screens to catch all the OTB and sports action. Plus, the poker room featured 65 tables of action, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, Mega Bad Beat chatbots, and exciting tournaments. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Every 15 seconds, a home is burglarized. That means by the time this commercial is over, 4 more families will have had their private space violated, their belongings stolen, their sense of security destroyed.
That's why hundreds of thousands of people have trusted the Sloman Shield home security system to keep their families safe. You can too. Just call 833-283-5050 right now, and you can get a free home security system plus your choice of a free indoor monitoring camera or programmable thermostat when you subscribe to Sloman's low-cost monitoring service for 5 years. With the Sloman Shield,
We'll be back shortly, guys.
from any smartphone or tablet, lock your doors, control your thermostat, even turn your lights on and off. To get your free security system plus your choice of a free indoor monitoring camera or programmable thermostat, call 833-283-5050 now. That's 833-283-5050, and make sure the next home to be burglarized isn't yours.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office. Those big
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Alrighty, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. If you're just tuning in, you missed a lot. I'm not going to recap the Paul Ryan thing right now because it just that Paul Ryan business that I started the show with for the first half hour pissed me off so much. I do not get really angry on the air. I'm still pissed off just thinking about that. Maybe I'll recap it later, but I don't want to do that to myself right now. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Conservative.
Hey, Doug.
You got me agreeing with you, man. There's Paul Ryan and Neil Cavuto, MSNBC, and the whole rest of CNN. They're all brainwashing people, and once these people get brainwashed, man, they don't want to hear anything to try to fix their brainwashing. I told a couple of Democrats, "Oh, I'm going to see President Trump on Friday." Oh, they say the same thing. Well, what do you want to go see him for? He's a criminal.
Really? Do they know that their president is the father of a convicted felon?
There you go.
Now.
That doesn't matter. Nothing. That these people are so thick, man. They don't want to hear anything. You say, "Well, what are they lying about?" You don't think that the jury was? Oh no.
Let me tell you what a scumbucket Joe Biden is. Joe Biden fixed that trial to get his son convicted. He put his son. He's done nothing but abuse his son, making him his money launderer. The worst thing you can give a drug addict is 10 cents. You give them 10 cents, they're going to find 10 cents worth of drugs. And they've been giving him millions of dollars for years, this addict. He could have gotten his son off on that. And, in that sentencing, if they come back and, he allowed his son to be convicted of these felonies, Biden, so that he can go into the debate this month with Trump and say, look, I can't fix the system. My own son made a mistake and now he's convicted. If they sentence him to prison, Biden, I think, will let him go to prison. He'll pardon him after the election, but he's not going to pardon him before the election because he's using this conviction of his son to act like the system is fair. So he can try to use that against Trump. So, what kind of guy does to their son what Biden's done?
Yeah, man.
And I want to say one more thing. See, I'm really pissed today talking about that Paul Ryan thing. Really ticked me off. That this has been. This sounds petty, but I'm going to share it anyway. Many people have been examining this. This is what I'm about to tell you. This is not a joke. This is not a bit. This is not meant to be funny. Last week, the other day, when Biden was in Normandy and he went to sit down where there was no chair, that's not what happened. He did number 2 in his pants. And if you go, he did number 2 in his pants, and when he bent over to do it, on the stage, he had his rear end towards Macron and his wife. And you can see, and I've seen people examine this, and the consensus from the fact checkers is that he went number 2 in his pants on stage next to Macron during the D-Day thing. Now, listen, things happen, but he's incontinent. I had to make the terrible decision to put my 17-year-old dog down recently. One of the final things was incontinence, right? When he is completely incontinent. At that, how can this guy be fit? Everyone around him is a criminal. Kamala, Jill, Karine Jean-Pierre, the first black lesbian person to speak at the White House, or whatever she says she is. They're all criminals because there's a man who's checked out, who's incontinent, who's not running the country, and it's being illegally run by others who do not have the authority to do so.
They're all having a good time. Oh, we're in charge.
Go back and watch that. He went number 2, and I'm not trying to be funny or cute or mean. He went number 2 in his pants on stage at the D-Day thing. That's how out of it he is.
And then I saw a picture of him standing there. Everybody's clapping. He's standing like he's a zombie. He's just standing there. Oh man, this guy is. But this is hopefully the American people now finally woke up and realized we have to vote these people out and get good people in and fix this country. But still,
people off the air are asking me, how do you know? People, this D-Day thing on the stage with Biden people in media have been examining this since it happened, and the consensus is that he went to number 2 in his pants. And I don't think it's funny. I don't enjoy saying it to you, but the President of the United States is incontinent.
Bad for the incontinent. I mean, that's a miserable thing to have to be.
I mean, this isn't like a little leakage where you wear the Depends. This is someone who's so feeble they can no longer control their bodily functions. So if you can't control that, how can he be running the country?
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully this is going to be ending pretty soon, and we'll have President Trump back in there. But 37% approval rating for Biden still. Who could possibly want? That's what I'm saying. There's too many people being brainwashed. 37. If that's true, which I don't believe is true, but 37%. That's all.
No, I don't buy it either. I know. All right. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Buffalo.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, so I was listening. I called in after you played that audio clip of that woman going absolutely berserk towards the pro-Israeli protester. And, you know, this is my approach to it. The only people who can possibly support Hamas or Palestine are either ignorant or evil. So that's why you only see crazy people out in public going absolutely ballistic for Hamas, because that's just the cloth they're cut from. You can only be crazy or just hate America.
Well, when that woman says, I am Hamas, that's like saying, I am ISIS.
Or with, you ever see that David Horowitz interaction? It was like, I don't know what happened to him. He used to be way more.
He just got old. He's old.
Well, he was speaking on a college campus, and I remember there was this woman with a keffiyeh, right? Like that little scarf that Rashida Tlaib just loves to wear.
Oh, yeah. That Arafat thing.
It's a terrorist scarf. So she was wearing this thing, and she started asking questions, and she presented herself as if one of these people who are like, I just want what's fair and just. But he kept prodding her, and towards the end, he eventually got her to admit that she just wants to eliminate the Jews.
Yes.
Cornered her with like this. He did this brilliant thing where he cornered her with this Socratic method, and he trapped her into a box, and she just admitted it. At the end of the day, these people just want to eliminate the Jews, and like it's not that complicated.
Yes.
And anyone who believes that, they're crazy. They're crazy if you want to eliminate, such a small population. It's just you can't argue with them. Where she's denying the rape of women.
That woman, she's an evil woman, and if I don't know if you're out there saying you're a terrorist, which is what she is. Don't people like that get arrested? I don't know. If what she said is like saying I am ISIS, I am the Klan. It's that kind of thing. The thing about that woman is she's so brainwashed. She doesn't even understand what it is she's saying. She really doesn't.
Yeah. No, this is a hallmark of left-wing ideology. It induces mental illness. And one of the things that she's a victim of, or whatever you want to call it, is she fully believes in post-colonial theory, which is a cousin of critical race theory. And that pretty much says it has the oppressor-oppression matrix, and she thinks because Israel's powerful and there's a bunch of brown people that are being subjected to a military operation, that therefore they're the evil one.
Well, what's going on here? These anti-colonialists, okay, which is what Obama is. These anti-colonialists, they're colonizing the United States now. Really, if you think about it.
Well, but that's it. So the crux of anti-colonialism isn't anti-colonialism. It's anti-West. Anti-colonialism is...
The problem we have is, David Horowitz is a great man, but he's gotten old. We don't have anyone like that. Ben Shapiro is a strong supporter of Israel, but he's disliked some. Can't stand the guy. I agree with him on Israel, but he's a despicable person. He did something really crappy the other day to one of his employees, too. I don't know if I want to I talked about it on my podcast, but we don't have any strong voices in support of Israel in this country right now like we used to. Where are the Jews? I get a lot of my Jewish friends have told me they're afraid to speak out because there's so many pro-Hamas people in this country now. They're afraid.
I gotta be honest. Donald Trump, he was one of the largest, like the biggest. I've never seen a president come along and be more pro-Israel. You know, like I don't understand the secular or the reform or the liberal Jew who just hates Donald Trump.
Reform Jews, for those that don't know, Reform Jews are secular Jews. They're Jewish, but they're not religious, okay? And they're liberals. And my belief has been with Reform Jews, they hate Christians, okay? They're Christian bigots, and they view the Republican Party as a Christian church organization, and that's why they're liberals. I've thought that for years. I don't know of any other reason, but that's it. You know. All right, I got to run for a break, but thank you so much for your call. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
With your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
And get ready for a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person for a limited time. Dance the night away at our high-energy poolside parties. Then settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite plus one. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville at Sea.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even doubled. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks, easier than ordering a pizza.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Before I go back to the phones, I want to ask you this. I was talking earlier. It is a fact that Biden went number 2 in his pants on the stage with Macron at Normandy. Okay, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't even like talking about it. Okay, an embarrassment nationally. But this is what I want to ask you about. You know, Jill Biden flew back from Normandy to the United States and then back again. And they said it was to go to Hunter's trial. I don't think so now. I was thinking about this during the break. And let me know what you think about this. Number one, do you agree with the experts that Biden went number 2 in his pants? But also this. Biden was out of it over there. Do you think Jill might really have flown back to the United States and then back to Normandy to get whatever it is she pumps him up with? She handles whatever he's taken. Okay, whatever he takes, she handles it. And I'm wondering if she flew back to get whatever it is that she gives him after the number 2 in the pants incident and all that stuff. What do you guys think? Do you think she really flew back to go to court for the afternoon from France? And it cost much more than they say. They say it cost $300 and something thousand. Believe me, it costs much more than that. You know, when a first lady flies, it's not just one plane. They have multiple planes. For security reasons. There's all kinds of security on the ground and in the air. Believe me, it was more than $350,000. All right, let's go back to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richard Cavuto.
Hey, Richard.
Okay, I've been at hold, and my question was regarding Paul Ryan, so I'll make it real fast. Isn't he just maybe, one of 3 or one of 5 on the board of directors, or is his power on a higher level?
Well, who knows? I mean, I don't know how many people are on the board of directors at Fox, okay? But he's on the board of directors, and he's got a lot. It's been reported that he has a lot of influence over their programming at Fox.
Right, he's not running the show completely.
Well, there's others, but the Murdochs hate Fox too. But no, he's got a lot of pull, a lot of influence.
Okay, and one last question. I think you'll agree it's more important than any other question. Could you stroll over to your window and give us an update on the peacock?
The peacocks, I don't see the peacocks today. It's been raining, so it's hard to see. Wait, for those who wonder, there's a whole bunch of peacocks that live next to the parking lot at the radio station, and they're huge. And there's these ladies that bring food and feed them all the time, and they sleep at like 50 to 70 feet up in these trees. I don't know how they get there, but I'll make eventually when this weather gets better. I'll make a YouTube video so you can see the peacocks of the radio station. But these are like full size, like you would see in the zoo. I don't know how the hell they got here. I don't know what they're doing here. All right, take care. I know, it's interesting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Hey, Jay.
Boy, sometimes you say some dumb stuff. Because I realize
Oh, that's interesting. Now, before you move on to hold on, slow down for a second. This is an amazing admission on your part. You say, sometimes I say stupid stuff, which means a lot of times I'm saying a lot of smart stuff. So you agree with me a lot.
you know what? Then I just made a big mistake.
Oh, you want to say that everything I say is stupid. All right, the first one was the honest answer.
Remember the other day you said, why can't the people who are Democrats call in and talk about the subject? Because you never learn. Because you can't keep your mouth closed long enough instead of acting like a clown. Now, what I called about is the dumb thing that you just said. And those dumb people are listening to you saying that the president poo-pooed on himself.
He did.
You believe that? Oh, come on.
You can see it. You can see it. When he's on stage with Macron at D-Day and he bends forward and you see Jill's face, and you see Macron's face, he's like, oh my goodness. It's exactly what happened.
You have no proof whatsoever. But
I wasn't there. I wasn't there to smell it. Okay, but people have been watching that for a few days now and analyzing it.
Have 1% proof. You have.
Excuse me. While we don't have 100% evidence, we do have common sense. And when you watch, have you seen the video?
Where is the common sense?
Have you seen the Jay? Have you seen the video?
Listen,
You don't need to see the video. Well, maybe you should see the video so that you can be informed about what you're talking about.
you are, and you're an expert on poop in the pants. Why?
Because in Florida, we have the oldest population in the country, and it's not unusual to be at the mall or the grocery store and see seniors go number 2 in their pants. I've seen that motion many times.
My God.
This is Florida.
That's the second crazy.
You can't live in Florida without seeing people that are elderly go to the bathroom in their pants. Happens all the time in Florida.
That's crazy.
I know it is. It's insane.
Okay, the second thing you just said. You said the other day, why do people keep calling up saying ex-president, the nut is felon? But you just said, just now you just said that Joe Biden's child is a felon. You was using
Convicted felon, yes.
a convicted felon. How come you don't like it when people say Trump is a convicted felon, which he is?
No, because the...
He got convicted.
No, first off, no. The E. Jean Carroll case was a civil case, not a criminal case. So no, there was no criminal conviction for rape. That's your fantasy. The New York courtroom, the judge was dirty, and apparently the jury was crooked too. So we're talking about Judge Merchan. The Judge Merchan with the 34 convictions, he's corrupt, and there's been some jury misconduct as well that shows the jury was corrupt. In Hunter's case, he actually did it.
How come the son's jury's not corrupt?
Well, he did it. We know he did it.
So, well, we know that President Trump slept with that woman, so we know he...
As much as liberals want to make this a crime, it is not a crime to have heterosexual sex, Jay. I know a lot of liberals want it to be, but it's not. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
George Orlando.
Hey, what's up?
I'm
choking on my saliva. No, excuse me. Excuse me. It is important. If the President of the United States is incontinent, we are all in danger, as is the world, because he's not capable of running the country. It is very important.
No, but I'm bringing up Hunter Biden, okay, which it comes down to me. I look at it like this. It's political, whatever.
Choking on my saliva.
But would you rather have him do 20 years? He might not do 5 minutes in jail. But when I see the beauty in this whole thing with Hunter Biden, they could put the screws to. Maybe I've seen too many Untouchables, old crime shows. They put the screws to him, squeeze them, make him sing. Because his father, I heard the other day, he said, "Well, I'm not going to pardon him." Blah blah.
Of course, he's going to pardon him. If they're going to give him a jail sentence, he's going to pardon him. He will pardon him at some point. He'll do after the election. Well, he lied.
Point is, they could bail him out for what the.
We don't. You can't bail out of a conviction. He's going to get sentenced. We don't need him to sing like a canary. He already did, because we have all the evidence in the laptop.
So he said he indicted his daddy and all his butt.
Yes.
Everything that's going.
Well, a lot of it is in the laptop. Yeah, a lot of what Biden's crimes are in the laptop. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. It's time for a bottom of the hour break. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
No, I just the saliva in my mouth was making me choke. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, lucky you.
drive for me. I know I'm not that far, but
Yeah.
hope it's not bad on the highways.
Yeah, I know. I usually wait till about 9:15. The traffic clears up. Yeah.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC with 65 tables of action. Open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Grab your friends and check out the $10 poker party on Friday, June 28th. It's a great way for new players to experience tournament play. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
By treating your knee pain with laser, treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up through the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
This is Lori. I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one?
I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
Hey, grab your flip-flops and get ready for a
If you're on hold, stand by. Is a face for radio in the chat? Haven't seen him in the chat today. He sent me something I was going to show, but I wanted to wait till he was here. He sent me these disinfectant wipes, which are super cool. These are disinfectant wipes, you know, like Lysol wipes, except they're non-toxic. They're for kitchens and restaurants, so you can like clean your counters and then cut your food on them. You know what I mean? So they're not toxic. You can clean the countertop and then cut your food on it. There's no toxins like in Lysol wipes. Pretty cool. He sent me a whole case of them. They're called flexwipes.com. I think they're available on Amazon too. He just sent me this whole box. I'll take these home today. Pretty cool.
To the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's George from Kentucky.
Hey, George.
You know, as if President Trump has not been through enough, Now he's going to have to face the possibility of being in a debate with Biden while Biden makes a poopy in his pants.
You know, by the way, if you guys notice, I say number 2. I mean, so if you guys could, insert number 2, I'd appreciate it. It's disgusting enough. I don't need it so graphic. But I don't bring that up to be funny. I don't think it's funny. It's scary. It is terrifying to me that our president is incontinent. It's pretty bad.
It is. He can't control his body. How can he control it?
Well, he should be in a nursing home. You know, Attorney Barry Siegel, he talks about the Medicaid planning where you can have either nursing home or at-home care. He needs to have either be in a nursing home or be out at his home in Delaware with a nurse by his side all the time. When somebody reaches that level, and does anyone know the timeline? Did Jill come back to America after that incident or before? Because I'm wondering if that incident is what really led to her coming back to America for a couple hours and then back to France to get something that they give him. I don't know the timeline on that, but I don't bring it up to be funny, cute, degrading, or mean. It's a national security issue, and America's in a crisis. We were in a crisis on January 6th for a number of reasons. The media and the lines of communication from the president to the outside world were cut off. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs took control of the nuclear weapons from the president. We were in a crisis on January 6th. We're in a crisis now with a president that's incontinent that went number 2 on stage with the president of France with thousands watching during the D-Day event. And I'm not trying to be funny. It's not funny. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
You're not funny, and it is insulting and stupid, and I don't know why you can't see the relevance of calling the president or former president a felon. And you think to make a statement about Biden's
incontinence. Well, let me ask you, Renee. Let me ask you, Renee. Which is more of a danger today to the people of the United States? A guy running for president having some felony convictions that aren't even legit, or the sitting president of the United States going number 2 in his pants? Which is...
He had number 2 in his pants. You have no proof of that.
Have you seen the video? No, he can't. Okay, well, then what do you think happened?
What do I think is the operative word?
Well, that's all we got are opinions. I wasn't there to catch a whiff, but I tell you what, Macron was. Did you see Macron's face? Oh my goodness, he got a whiff.
We got to assume, right?
Yeah.
You know what they say about assuming?
No, I don't.
You don't know?
No, tell me.
You make a blank out of you and me.
Oh, so I'm making an A out of you. That's interesting. Okay, on that I will agree. I will agree that you are that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Roz.
Hey, Roz.
This Renee is a jerk, okay? This guy calls in every day with such hate and vitriol towards you and towards us people. And I'm getting sick and tired.
Well, let me talk, Roz. Let's talk about this, okay? This thing with Biden. I haven't brought it up. When I first saw it, I thought he was trying to sit down in a chair that's not there. But it's what it is. The number 2 in the pants. I haven't brought it up because it's not a nice visual, and I didn't really want to talk about it. But the reason I bring it up today is because they just arrested all these ISIS guys at the southern border. By the way, how many got away? You think they got all of them? So I want you guys to go back in time to 9/11. You know, these ISIS guys are not coming here just to hang out. They're coming here to do terrorism. If we had a 9/11 event happen, how would this country respond? You know, Bush and Cheney are evil people, but even they had a difficult time on 9/11, and they were with it. Okay, when you've got, when the president of the United States is incontinent and going number 2 in his pants, and there's a crisis, there's a constitutional crisis. The government cannot respond to an attack on this country properly because who can give orders? What's the chain of command?
Do you ever watch Stephen Gardner?
No.
Well, he's another guy who does, YouTube, and he talks to, like, ex-military and CIA, and I was watching his show last night, and he was talking to a CIA agent.
Yeah.
I guess Russia has had it with the United States.
Mm.
Because Lindsey Graham got on there and talked about,
yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Yeah, hey, Roz, I appreciate the call. This is a serious incident. These ISIS-K guys, sounds like a breakfast cereal, doesn't it? These ISIS-K guys, there's dangerous stuff going on. And I promise you, they didn't get all of them. We're lucky they got the ones they got. On 9/11, there was a breakdown in the chain of command. Even with people that were competent and with it. Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, Condoleezza Rice. You've got somebody like this, and something like that happens, the government wouldn't be able to respond. Certainly not in a timely way, and not legally. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Here, Florida.
Yep.
Hey, why are you making all these accusations, man? These false accusations against this man.
What
That man did that in.
Have you seen the video?
No, I ain't see the video.
Oh, well, everybody that called, it's an interesting thing. Everybody who's called up and said that I'm making things up, none of you have seen the video. So maybe you should see the video. No, we're not talking about Trump right now. They just arrested a bunch of ISIS at the southern border. They got through the border. Okay, there's a security crisis going on. And I think it's important to point out, we've had 3 people that have called up. You, Renee, and Jay from Jersey. And all 3 of you have 2 things in common. You're black men, and none of you have seen the video. And the third thing you have in common is you all say I'm wrong. How can you say I'm wrong if you've not seen the video? No, you've not seen the video. Go and watch the video.
You just assuming that the man did something. He didn't do anything.
Go and watch the video and then call me back and explain to me what he did.
He's in trouble.
Are you gonna go watch the video?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the video. Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Well, watch it and call me back, and I'll tell you what, there'll be a quiz. Okay? So you're not just going to be able to get away with saying you watched it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Angeles Antonio. Hey, how you doing today, Brian?
All right.
You know something? That's what he did. He took one on himself, man. If you can see it clear as day.
Yeah.
Went on himself on the podium or wherever he was at.
Yes.
Went on himself.
Yeah, it's frightening.
It's frightening. It is so scary, man. And they just don't want to believe it because this guy is a total nincompoop. He's an idiot.
And you know, and here's the thing, okay? He's incontinent and he's out of it. If that happened to a normal guy who was halfway with it, they would cover it up. He moved his body in a way. He thought it was perfectly acceptable to do it there. Do you understand what I mean? He didn't. A normal guy would just stand there and tell his wife, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I just did. You got to get me off the stage." That's not what he did. He got into the position to finish.
Like he was going to a toilet.
Yes, he was exactly right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thanks for the call. Oh my goodness. All right, now I want to tell you guys about the great American patriot Mike Lindell and MyPillow. You heard Steve's wife talking about the MyPillow mattress topper. I told her you got to get the mattress topper. I told her on the cruise. I said you got to get the mattress topper. It'll change your life. And you heard Lori Kane talking about it during the bottom of the hour break. It's a life-changing thing. If I could have only one MyPillow product, I've got them all, but if I could only have one, if they came in my house and said, we're taking all your MyPillow stuff except one, the one I would have them leave is the MyPillow mattress topper. It will change your life. If you have a lumpy, bumpy mattress, an uneven mattress, think you need a new mattress, get the mattress topper. The 2-inch mattress topper is 50% off. It's a 2-inch mattress topper. I have this on my guest bed. It is spectacular. The mattress topper 2.0 is 40% off. That's a 3-inch mattress topper, and it has the temperature regulating technology. That's what I have on my marital bed, and it's spectacular. As I say, I get 3 to 4 hours sleep a night. And do I seem energized in the morning? Do I seem energized now? 3.5 hours sleep. It's because that sleep I get with the mattress topper is well-rested, full REM sleep. I don't need as much sleep because the sleep I get is so deep, so sound, and so well. So it's also free shipping because it's free shipping site-wide on all orders over $75. So you can either get 50 or 40% off the mattress topper, depending on which one you choose, free shipping, and it comes in every mattress size, and a money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can send it back and get your money back. But I don't think that's going to happen. You're going to love it just like I do. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and take advantage of that. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're on hold, hang in there. Does anyone know, did Jill fly back to the U.S. before or after that? Oh, yeah. You know, I got one. We got a new mattress and put it on top of the new mattress. Yeah. It'll change your sleep. Make sure you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. After, yeah. She went, I think she came home to get something for him. I really do.
We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
The best way to protect your family from the effects of a hurricane is to make a disaster plan. In the same way you plan for your family, it's important to also make a plan for your pets. Making a pet plan ensures you know what to do for your pets when a storm threatens your community. You can locate pet-friendly shelters, find a list of supplies you may need to bring with you, and other information that can help you and your pets evacuate quickly and safely by visiting makeapetplan.com. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside.
If you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe, guys.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour. You know, it looks like, because I'm trying to put that together the timeline, it looks like Jill flew back to the United States for a few hours after Biden went number 2 on stage next to Macron. I think she flew back to get something for him. A medication, clothes, something. She flew back to get something for him. She didn't come back for the Hunter thing. It's too bizarre for her to fly all the way back from Normandy to the United States and then back again. That's what I think happened. I don't know. You guys let me know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bay.
Hey, Joan.
Anybody that's had a toddler that you're, what do you say, potty training, and, you know, you got the pull-ups on them,
Mm-hmm.
when they go to do the number 2, and they don't want to run to the bathroom, or making, you know, they stand in a corner and they do that crouch down thing.
No, you're right. I remember when my daughter was, you know, when they're toddlers and they talk a little bit, we called those big kid diapers, you know, when she was potty. And when the pull-ups, and they do make that same position Joe made. There's no question he did it. I hate talking about this. I've really put off talking about it. But when we have ISIS at the southern border, we're in trouble. When he did it, he didn't even try to cover up what he was doing. He was trying to finish the act. And you could see the look on Macron. I mean, the Macron, oh my goodness.
Also, did you see Jill hurry him?
Oh, yeah.
And then run back to, you know, talk to the serviceman.
So do you think it's possible she flew back to the U.S. not for the Hunter thing, but to get something for Joe? I do.
I don't know.
I do.
They just should have given him a whole bunch of Imodium so it would block him up for a while.
So you agree that's what happened?
Well, if you had children with the big boy diapers on or big girl diapers on, and they were learning to be potty trained, and they didn't, you know, took the position that.
No, you're absolutely correct. Yes, it's been a while, but I do remember those days. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Steve from Chicago.
Hey, Steve.
Hi. First of all, I hope Steve wasn't offended with me agreeing with you on the tax thing.
No. Okay. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was fine.
Okay, because I agree with. Okay, I just wanted to let you know with this poop thing. I'm in a place. I'm in a retirement home, and there's a lot of people that do that, and it's like I just like I
Well, the key is you're in a retirement home, right? So that's, you know, the people that you've seen do this, they don't have the nuclear football or anything.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I know. So, you know, I wouldn't want anybody in my retirement home running the country. You know?
So you've seen the video. Do you agree that's what happened? He went number 2 in his pants on stage?
Yes, of course. It looks like it, yes. And your last caller, the female that called you, said about babies, that's what they do, toddlers do that. You used to too, with your daughter and everything like that. But, you know, so, you know, I just wanted to, let's stop that.
Okay, and the other, yes, I appreciate it. Take care. You know, in fact, this is such a big thing. The Democrats have the fact checkers on this. Here's the fact checkers at the Daily Beast, liberals. Joe Biden did not go number 2 in his pants, okay? It says here, MAGAland, that's us. This is the Daily Beast fact checkers. MAGAland has worked itself into a frenzy after the RNC posted an awkward clip of Joe Biden preparing to sit in a chair. It trolls rapidly spreading the debunked claim that the video was proof that Biden had gone number 2 on himself. They use the P word. I'm just not using that. While, okay, so where's the evidence that he didn't? Right? the fact checkers say there's no proof. He didn't do it. There's no proof that he did it. Well, where's their proof that he didn't? And, I know this is a difficult topic, but I was just Googling it during the break. It is everywhere online. This is really taken over the internet because it's happened. I want to say something on something that's unrelated before we get back to the politics. Candace Owens is back. She started her show again a couple days ago, and she's two episodes, and I listened to both of them. Her second episode, skip the first one. Okay, the first one is me, I, me. Okay, let's find out what other people think about me. That was pretty rough. But the second episode, she broke down some very interesting things, and I this is the first time in a long time I've heard Candace Owens speak without having the Ben Shapiro umbrella over her, and she sounded pretty sharp on most of everything that she said. She recently converted to Catholicism, and of course I'm a convert to Catholicism myself, so I like that about her. But I was pretty impressed with her. But Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire did something insane. They fired a guy the other day. Did you guys hear about this? They fired a guy at the Daily Wire because he sent on his personal email, an email on his personal email to Candace Owens just wishing her good luck. And what had happened was he was signed into his personal email on his work computer at the Daily Wire, and when he wasn't at his desk, the Daily Wire, one of the supervisors, went through his personal email on the company computer and found him sending this pleasant email to Candace Owens, and they fired him over it. I was very surprised. And, it's so unfortunate because, we've got this new media out there, the conservative media, finally, after years of just 100% liberal dominance. And so much of the conservative media has become corporate and can't be trusted. And the Daily Wire is one of them. And the way they're behaving are like liberals over there at the Daily Wire. There's no freedom of thought, no freedom of speech, no freedom of anything. And they're really giving the new conservative media a bad name. They're not alone. There's other conservative media outlets that there's problems with. But they had Candace Owens was speaking over the weekend at Charlie Kirk's one of his Turning Point events. He had a event for women, Charlie Kirk, and there were a lot of big speakers: Candace Owens, Laura Trump, Alina Habba, Trump's attorney, and a few other famous conservative women. And Candace Owens, when she was on stage, she said she had been informed that Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire had sent a spy to spy on her at the event to try to catch her doing something. I don't know, maybe violating the non-compete or something. I don't know what they were trying to do, but she said they sent a spy to spy on her there, and then they fired this guy just on his private email. He said, just wished her luck and said nice things to her. What's going on over at the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro is really outrageous. Now, I want to ask you this. Are you in pain? Well, that means you haven't taken my advice yet and gone to see Dr. Appleton and taken advantage of the laser away pain treatment. The laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain 5 times. It works on so many different types of pain. I'm going to go through some of them. This is an incomplete list, okay? Arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis, herniated disc. The list goes on and on and on. Being in pain is not a part of growing older. You can live without pain. And of course, with the laser away pain treatment, there were no drugs, no shots, no surgery, and no downtime. And it is 100% painless. Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself, and appointments are never necessary. Walk-ins are always welcome, even on Saturdays. Give him a call. His number is 954 973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain, like I've done 5 times. All right, so we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. I'll recap some of the things that we've talked about in the first 2 hours. Steve will be joining us. We've covered quite a bit. And I'm really trying to avoid going back to that stunt that Cavuto pulled yesterday with Paul Ryan on Fox, because it just really ticked me off. Things don't make me mad that often. That really ticked me off. I don't know why, but it did. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. 1-888-465-2631 is our number. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3.
Switching to Slomin's is easy when you call 833-283-5050. Call today and your home security system will be smarter, better, and more affordable than ever. Get a free security system and home monitoring for less than $1 per day. 833-283-5050. Call today.
Evening, I'm Abby Phillip in New York. Tonight, President Biden and his family are huddling together in Delaware after a jury convicted his surviving son on all 3 federal gun charges. It is the first time in American history that an immediate family member of a sitting U.S. president.
Sexual vigor and excitement are great. Sleeping the way they should without disturbances and reducing their symptoms of age. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All All right, the third hour has begun. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, man, a busy day.
Tell me that Cavuto story. I missed it.
Nah, I don't want. I can move on to some new stuff. Maybe later. The thing with Cavuto just pisses me off. I don't want to get into that again.
You don't want to tell me real quick?
No, maybe I'll tell you later. It's not a real quick thing, and it'll get me off the rails. Maybe towards the end. I don't know. I wanted to talk about what a garbage father Joe Biden is. That might make...
That if you want, or it's something very interesting I found in my newspaper this morning. It's not so much what is in the New York Post as what is not in the New York Post. Something is going on. There is not a single mention that I have found. Some of you out there may have different editions or whatever, but I can't find a single place where they have used the name Donald Trump.
Oh, really? I'm in shock.
Well, I don't think it's an accident. I think there's so much going on, which is, what I'm about to say is a plus, not a minus. There's so much going on in the news today about the upper levels of our government that Donald Trump is just standing back and letting the fur fly where it flies and staying out of the I don't know, out of view.
Yeah, no, I'm going through the post now. I don't see. There's not a single story on Trump. You're right.
Single mention of the name Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like he's chosen to stand back and let them all destroy each other.
Well, they're doing that.
I've never seen anything like this. You get the feeling this thing is going higher, that it's out of control, that there's no way that...
Well, you know, this corrupt courtroom in Delaware where they convicted Hunter yesterday, you know, Joe Biden is quite arguably the worst father I've ever known of. I've never known a father who abused his own son as much as this guy.
You imagine all the trophies on the mantles at the Biden's residence, wherever they happen to be located. Worst father of the year, worst president of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And worst everything.
Well, if you look at...
Control. I mean, they're not able to hold back anything.
Well, Biden has done nothing but use and exploit his son, okay, for his own selfish needs. And I'll tell you specifically. First, of course, for many years, he's given this drug addict, junkie, the worst thing to give a junkie, and that's money. You know, you give a drug addict at the level that Hunter is, you give them $1. They'll find $1 worth of drugs. If they have to buy food coloring and drink it for the alcohol, they'll find $1 worth of drugs. And he's been giving Hunter millions of dollars. So he's kept him hooked on drugs and prostitutes all these years so that he could be his money mule, his bag man, his money launderer. Then this.
World's best.
And then absolutely. Then anytime he talks about his children, all he talks about is Beau. He never talks about Hunter. That's why Hunter left the laptops at that guy. He was trying to get even with Dad. Now this thing yesterday. Okay?
It buried anger here.
So, you know, all Hunter is to Joe is a tool to advance himself. So he allowed his son to get convicted of these felonies so that he could go into this debate this month against Trump and say, I'm not involved in the legal system. I didn't intervene with my son. He's a convicted felon, just like you, Trump. And the system's fair. He allowed his son to become a convicted felon. And I'll tell you, I didn't see the date on the sentencing of Hunter. Did you catch that? I didn't see it. Did you? If the judge came back and sentenced him to jail, right? If anybody knows when the Hunter sentencing is, I'd like to know, because I didn't see it reported. If the judge comes back and gives him jail time, and he'll have to do it right away, right? Before the election. If it's before the election, Joe will let Hunter go to prison. He's going to pardon him, but not till after the election. Because he's doing this whole racket to make this verdict against Trump seem legit by allowing his son to be a convicted federal felon.
The only thing and it's a big thing that I disagree with you, when you use the phrase "make it to the election," this ain't gonna happen. I'm firmly convinced there is no way that Joe Biden could.
He's debating Trump like this month on CNN.
I'm watching.
Steve, he went. Before you joined us. I was talking about how he went number 2 in his pants in Normandy on stage, and well, that's the president, and they didn't remove him after that. So I don't know what else is going to happen. I mean, what kind of man would
happen? He's like a wind-up toy that won't wind up anymore.
Jill's never going to give it up, Steve. She's never going to give it up. She's running the country.
Jill.
All right, Steve, we're there. It's too late now. The debate's coming up.
They will get to a point, I don't know, before the debate, after the debate, when the people in there close to it will intercede, and they'll get a candidate.
The only thing that's going to make that happen is if he has an accident in his pants during the debate on live TV, and Trump points it out.
He's barely functional.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets that faraway look in his eyes and he just leaves the room.
Yes.
In his mind, he drifts off like a ghost.
Uh-huh.
Whoopi Goldberg and Ghosts.
Yeah.
It's scary, and it's somebody's going to eventually intercede. They're waiting for the convention.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a fantasy. That is a fantasy.
Well, the big question is, is there anybody there that's going to stand up and, say that there's no way he's going to make it through the debates? The campaign is just, it's too much.
Well, let me give out the number. It's toll free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joe Ellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joe Ellen.
Hey, Joe Ellen. How are you?
Hi. I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Other than my car won't start.
Oh, no.
But other than that, no, I need a starter. Anyways, the only one that can make up their can say that Joe's not going to run, from my understanding, is Joe, unless they come in probably the 25th Amendment,
which means Jill,
because he has he's the one that calls the shot.
Well, first off, Joe Ellen, the 25th Amendment. See, this has never been done before. The 25th Amendment, so nobody knows how it works. I happen to know. Okay, what the president is not. Declared no longer the president. What happens if the 25th Amendment is invoked? Okay, the vice president, they got to get the majority of the cabinet to sign off. The vice president becomes the acting president. Then it goes to the House of Representatives, and there is a trial in the House, similar to the impeachment trials, where the president can go and have representatives make a case to keep him in office. This would take forever. None of this is going to happen. He went number 2 in his pants on stage in Normandy, and they didn't do anything. They're not plugging anybody else in, Steve. I'm sorry. I mean, did you see the video, Joe Ellen?
I did see the video. I mean, I didn't look at it really close, but I mean, that's what I've been hearing. So, yeah. I
mean, exactly. I mean, and for them to not nominate him, they also got to pass over Kamala, first female minority vice president.
Real problem the party has.
They got no time. The convention's weeks away. This is fantasy talk. It's been going on for a year.
Yeah, I know they want to put somebody else in there, but who are they going to put in there? But it's got to be Joseph.
See, here's the problem. There's a lot of problems with it. Another problem is this. Trump is incredibly popular. So for them to plug somebody in that's credible, I know there aren't a lot of credible Democrats, but a lot of these people like Whitmer and Governor Newsom don't realize they're insane people, okay? They think that they have a future, that they could be president one day. No one that is a credible candidate wants to go in at the last moment, go up against this populist Trump, and then lose. Then they're a loser. Then it's over. So, the only type of person they could get would be somebody who was willing to do it to lose. So what's the point of that?
Someone who wants to be a billionaire for the rest.
But why plug somebody in just to lose? What's the point of that? It makes no sense.
It's like handing somebody a bag full of.
But why would they bother plugging somebody in that's going to lose anyway, just like Biden? And then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So did you hear Trump's response to that verdict for Hunter yesterday?
I can't find Trump.
What did you pick? Yes. What did you pick up? What did you pick up, Joellen?
He's saying, you know what? He would give against the Second Amendment. He would give him a pardon. That was a fake statement. The statement where Trump said he would pardon Hunter was fake. That was not real. That was a fake statement. It circulated all over the internet yesterday. That was a fake statement from President Trump. I thought he was just trying to be funny, but
no, fake. It was fake.
He did not say that?
Correct. He did not say that. There was a fake statement. There was a fake statement put online yesterday.
One second. It seems to me one of the side effects of this whole catastrophe is the internet, as I see it. Now, everybody knows I'm totally anti-internet, but the internet has lost any shred of credibility that it might have had in the course of what's going on in the last couple of weeks.
I gotta go. I have to go. My car comes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're supposed to let you go first. I guess we kept her on too long. Oh, my goodness. It's time for our first break of the third hour, but this replacing Biden is just fantasy talk. To me, that's what the cable news does to kill time because they don't want to report the real news. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
A flag and flagpole takes this special time to recognize and salute the men and women in uniform who are standing tall for our freedom around the world. Let's remember them in our thoughts, prayers, and our letters from home. Their efforts abroad and in the U.S. will keep America strong. This message is courtesy of A Flag and Flagpole, dedicated to the health of our community. That's A Flag and Flagpole, 3427 Griffin Road in Fort Lauderdale. On the air because they care.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, I just want to give a shout out to my coffee. This is very important. Anybody that has any kind of acid reflux, if you try the low acidic coffee of my coffee, it is absolutely the best. I wasn't able to drink coffee for years, and I tried it, and now I can drink a coffee with no problem whatsoever. It's absolutely delicious. The flavor is like a tastier flavor than regular coffee. I'm telling you, I don't get stomach aches. I don't get anything. I'm so happy with it, and I think that you ought to mention it. I think it's important, especially for older people.
Mike Lindell says that his coffee, the My Coffee, which is 50% off with our promo code KANE and check out KANE at mypillow.com, is the best tasting coffee you've ever had.
Absolutely true. I have tried over the years other coffees, and nothing comes near his, and that really is the truth.
50% off with our promo code KANE and check out KANE at mypillow.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM.
All right, call us on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian Steves here. Before we go back to the phones, you know, if you haven't noticed, it's rainy season again in Florida. It's raining like crazy. And, you know, they're saying now that we're going to have a record number of hurricanes this year. If you have a wet spot on your ceiling, that means there's a leak in your roof. And you want to call Tom Laporta. You know, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting, who will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you just need a simple repair, he'll do it. He covers the entire state of Florida. Entire state. The East Coast, West Coast, everywhere in between. He does incredible work. He's a good MAGA guy. And so many people are new to Florida. If you have that wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, when there's hurricanes are devastating to your home when the hurricane winds find an entryway into your home. And oftentimes they do that through a loose shingle or a loose tile. You got to get that taken care of, okay? That's when the hurricane rips off the roof. And even if we don't get a hurricane, we get tropical storm winds. Tropical storms have hurricane gust winds in them. And if you're not prepared, you're in trouble. I'm going to give you Tom Laporta's number. Now, remember, this is Tom Laporta's cell phone. It rings directly to his cell phone, all right? 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. He rebuilt Steve's entire house because you ignored those wet spots. That's how we found Tom Laporta. And it did just, we'll talk another day about all the devastation to your home because you ignored that first wet spot. 954-604-4602. That's Tom Laporta's direct cell phone. You can also find him on his website, LaportaContracting.com. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Hi, IB.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing, man?
Excellent. Better than
Biden? Yeah, you haven't got number 2 in your pants. You're doing better than Biden.
I felt like you get on a vacation, Steve. I haven't talked to you in so long. But the liberals have called, okay, just be common sense-wise. You don't have to disagree with everything, okay? The guy has on a diaper for a reason. If there was something wrong with his penis, obviously he'll have a tube, and then he'll have a bottle on his leg, or what have you. But just ask yourself, why did he have the diaper in the first place?
Well, listen, hold slow down, IB. You know, this thing about Biden doing the thing in his pants, this was days ago. I've not brought it up, and I was very reluctant to bring it up, but I felt compelled because we've got the ISIS they just captured at the southern border, and there's no way they got all of them, right? You know, and people have accidents, okay? People have accidents. But Biden didn't realize he was having an accident. The way that he moved his body was he was putting himself in the position to complete it and do it easier, like he was sitting down on the toilet. You know, it shows how out of it he is. Somebody who's together, as bad and as embarrassing as it would be, because Macron, no matter what you did, knew what was going on. He got the smell. But he would stand up and try to cover it up for those that are watching. He went to sit down on the toilet on the stage.
Ryan, don't forget Morehouse, okay? Not only that he's a white guy doing the ceremony that put at most prestigious black college, but he pooped in his pants like a sleazy, and it took people for a little minute before everyone bust out laughing, and I told you guys that's such an embarrassment, and here we have this next big scene at D-Day.
Well, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. They just caught all these ISIS fighters at the southern border. It is dangerous. It's a national security risk.
And by the way, Paul Ryan, in retrospect, I always look at him sit there while they're doing whatever they do in Congress, and he sits there, and it reminded me of Mike Pence, how he just sits there and absorbs things and never know what's going to be leaked out. And I always, in retrospect, and you brought up that again, it made me think of Mike Pence in the beginning, because I feel like they were always traitors-like and using this information to hurt us, the people. And look what's going on, man. We are going to be hit so hard, like I said, only when it touches you personally, then you will change the policy. Mm-hmm. You got to do it. You got to go Trump. Go Trump.
Absolutely. All right, IB. Oh, thank you very much. You know, the thing with Paul... Did you watch Cavuto yesterday, Steve? Okay. Cavuto hates Trump like the plague. And I got two... I got two clips. Let me pull up the first one, the second one first. I want to do them in this particular order. Okay. Paul Ryan is on the board of directors. He hates Trump. Cavuto hates Trump. And Paul Ryan has a lot of pull at Fox. And not everybody at Fox hates Trump. There's a lot of good people over there that like Trump. Jesse Waters is a scummy guy, but he likes Trump. Greg Gutfeld likes Trump. You know, there's people there that are pro-Trump. But Paul Ryan's running the joint, and he hates Trump. And Paul Ryan's influence is one of the reasons they've not carried Trump rallies for years. Okay, doing a little bit of it now, but the change in Trump coverage is directly a result of Paul Ryan. And what Cavuto did yesterday was so weird. He brought Paul Ryan on to discuss specifically why MAGA people hate him. It was so bizarre. So I got two clips. This was actually the second one, but I'll play this one first. This is Cavuto and Paul Ryan. This was at the end of the segment. I'll play this one first.
A lot of our viewers knew you were coming on, and a lot of them intrinsically dislike you for some reason. They think you're pulling the strings here at Fox.
Because he is.
Trump, never Trumper movement. They even equate me with you to say that, all right, they're kindred spirits. And obviously Donald Trump is saying that you should be fired by Rupert Murdoch. When you hear all of that, what do you say?
I've been in politics a long time. I have really thick skin, and frankly,
actually,
I don't think about
You're
it.
very thin.
I don't think about it. So we're not done. So Paul Ryan, notice no denials. He does hate Trump, and he is pulling the strings at Fox of the Never Trumpers. He didn't deny any of it. He says, I got a thick skin.
A long time. I have really thick skin, and frankly,
actually,
I don't think about
You're
it.
a very thin, fit guy.
Yeah, I don't think about that.
A little?
I literally don't think about it. No.
Does he ever raise it with you? Like, hey, you're not popular.
No. Does who raise it with me?
Rupert Murdoch.
No.
Lachlan Murdoch.
No.
No one.
No.
It's just the unspoken issue.
Yeah.
All right.
It's free country.
Say
what you want.
So yeah, really. So Paul Ryan admits that he hates Trump, and he's pulling the strings of the Never Trumpers at Fox. And he just admitted it on the air to Cavuto. I'll get to the second clip in a minute, but for the life of me, I don't understand why Cavuto brought Paul Ryan on for this. It's like they want people to know we hate Trump over here. I'm very surprised he did it. So then, this was earlier in the interview. Paul Ryan says that Donald Trump is unfit to be the president.
In 2016, hoping that there was going to be a different kind of person in office, and I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened? I
think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th thing?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution.
When did he, by the way, do that, Paul Ryan?
Or swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or a member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Does it?
Voted for him in 2016.
So he says Trump is unfit for office. So there you go. That's the guy pulling the strings at Fox News by his own admission. Why do you think Cavuto brought him on, Steve, to confess that he hates Trump and Fox hates Trump and he's pulling the strings of the net? Why would Cavuto do that? Are they kind of like, are they trying to gain a demo of viewers that are Never Trumpers?
Sounds like the
bizarre.
The rantings of somebody that is trying to cover their butt.
Lunatics. It seems, if you guys in the audience have any theories on this, why would Neil Cavuto bring on Paul Ryan, and why would Paul Ryan agree to do it, to come on and establish Fox News as a never-Trumper media outlet? I don't understand the whole purpose of that exchange.
In Paul Ryan's mindset, he probably considers it counter-programming.
Or maybe character building. We have credibility. We hate Trump and we're not afraid to. They used to say, we report, you decide. Now it's, we hate Trump, watch us, I guess. I don't know. It's very strange. That's Trump derangement syndrome, right? It seems like a sane thing from their viewpoint, but it's an insane thing to do, really. What they've done is gone on the air and told their viewers that they hate them. That's what they've done. Very strange, very strange. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane's here. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Police traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
In West Palm Beach, there's a serious collision when the road is blocked. This traffic towards funds like Florida Power and Light. Okeechobee Boulevard at Drexel Road, there's a serious collision when the road is blocked. There's a solid in Lantana, there's a crash on I-95 heading northbound at Luxor Road. That's a
And you're in the notice that the battery, the vote. Just say
it's not a winning number of people. I believe it is a number of people in his base. I don't even think his entire base feels that way. But I mean, it's why unpopular foreign conflicts almost cost incumbents re-election every single time. And there's no example where the American people in a plurality or a majority or a winning coalition ever want to be the butt of any joke on the world stage, ever. And it's why democracy was such a big driver, sort of unexpectedly after the not aired in its entirety. I actually heard from someone who was watching Fox looking for it, that it wasn't on, and they were wondering why. So I saw Von's package, we rolled the tape, and I wonder what you think is going on with Trump.
Well, look, this is as good as Donald Trump gets. We need to keep that in mind.
And ever want to be the butt of any, or the American people in a plurality or a majority or a winning coalition ever want to be the butt of any joke on the world stage, ever. And it's why democracy was such a big driver, sort of unexpectedly after the very public January 6th Select Committee hearings. I think the slow-moving scandal, in my view, is that Fox News isn't broadcasting those anymore after the very public January 6th Select Committee hearing.
From pellet therapy, and they have their energy back just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you are looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even doubled. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees.
Trump is literally crazy on stage, and I say it not in a good way. Not well, not fit, not mentally capable of holding together a sentence when his prompter goes down. And yet Biden is constantly covered for being old, but yet travels onto the world stage doing speeches, dinners, important ceremonies, recognizing people who suffered and survived.
It's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks, easier than ordering a pizza.
Okay, let's talk about renovation and how it's not like...
Oh, a face for radio. I was just talking about you. I received your wipes.
The guys who prey on homeowners never show up.
Richard Marks,
So that's why the
face for radio. He sent me these Flex wipes, and they're non-toxic wipes, like Lysol wipes, but without the bleach and Lysol. So, like, you can wipe off your kitchen counter and then cut your meat on the counter and eat it, and it's safe. They're pretty good. And he sent me a whole case of them, which is really nice. So I appreciate that. Thanks so much. I'll take them home today.
753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080.
Coming back.
Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, iwilladvisors.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show. Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane's here. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You want to go back to the phones? What do you want to do, Steve? All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How are you?
Hey, Juan.
Hey, Ron.
Juan.
You know, it's real simple. I mean, Fox News is a very powerful outlet, so-called conservative outlet. So what they're after, they're splitting hairs. To answer your question that you asked, Brian, they're splitting hairs. Anybody that's on the fence with Trump, they can influence that. They can influence more so than CNN and the rest of them. So that's what the...
But this is, let me tell you, this is a strange thing, okay? Paul Ryan is on the board of directors of Fox News, and he's in senior management, okay? Fox News, they're, you know, when you look at a media outlet, whether it's us or Fox, viewers and listeners are like your customers if you have a store, right? So what sense would it make to, management here at our radio station loves us and loves the show, but say they didn't, right? What purpose would it serve to bring in somebody from senior management to tell the audience they hate you? They hate you. How good is that? How good is that? Forgetting about the politics, from a business perspective, Fox News runs advertisements and such. They bring on a senior management person from the board of directors to tell the viewers we hate you and we hate the man you love. That is, I've never seen something. The only thing on television that is as close to as self-destructive as that is Andy Kaufman doing that poll about getting banned from Saturday Night Live for life. I mean, what they did was insane.
But you see, like I just addressed, I mean, they're already powerful enough. They're looking to influence an election by splitting hairs. In other words, by splitting hairs, what I mean by that is that they don't care about the ones that do love Trump. They care about the ones that are on the fence with Trump. Ergo, you know, that's what...
The question you got to ask yourself is, who are they competing for? Who in the audience?
The CNN, MSNBC audience, I guess.
No, because I mean they outshine them all.
See, Juan. Okay, Juan. I'm trying to look at this not from a political, but for a business outlet. Okay. For example, this program is the most pro-Donald Trump program in America. No one loves Trump more than we do. No one. I don't care. There may be people that are close to being equal. This is the most pro-Donald Trump program there is. However, not everyone who listens loves Trump. You hear these callers. We want everybody to listen to us or watch me online, no matter what their political viewpoint is. I would never come on the air and say, if you don't love Trump, don't listen. If you don't love Trump, turn off the radio. If you don't love Trump, don't watch me on YouTube. That's stupid. It's the entire 24-hour lineup. Paul, they brought on someone from senior management to let the viewers know that senior management hates Trump. That is insane.
It is. Yes, it is. But I already addressed it. I mean, like I said, they're looking to influence the people.
How are you in? Oh, okay.
To the Max audience.
The Newsmax audience? Newsmax. The Newsmax loves Trump.
Audience as Fox.
That what they did would be like Newsmax having Chris Ruddy on saying, "I hate Trump." Now Chris Ruddy doesn't hate Trump, but it's crazy.
Again, Newsmax is not as big as Fox News does.
No.
They're competing against them, but anyway.
What they did is they told. Well, you're wrong. I didn't hear you explain anything really. They're going on the air telling their customers they hate them. How's that make any sense?
Well, again, this is the most powerful so-called conservative network that there is. So-called conservative, all right? So they put them on for 1 hour or for 20 minutes or 15 minutes with Neil Cavuto, looking to split hairs. So when they're looking to split hairs, they're looking to get those people that are on the fence with Trump. They've got that ability because they can lose that.
Okay, all right. It seems, like I was appreciate the call. A few weeks ago, I was over at Friendly Tire. And, I run into listeners there sometimes when I'm over there. And there was this guy, he was looking at me, kind of funny, and I thought he was a listener, but I don't know. I'm not going to go up to somebody. You come up to me, you know me, I don't know you. I just can't go up to people and, are you a listener? That's pathetic. But anyway, the guy was staring at me, and then Friendly Mike, he says, oh, he's a listener of you and Steve. I said, oh, really? And I said, oh, I'll say hi to him. He says he hates you. I said, what do you mean he hates me? He said he's a liberal. He hates Trump. He hates you. He hates Steve. I said, but he's buying tires, right? I said, is he buying new or used? He said new. He said, how many? He said 4. I was like, oh, he hates us, but he's here buying tires. When you're in the media business, true story. I told that story the next day. It was part of the spot. Even liberals know the deals at Friendly Tire in Margate. When you're in media, you want everybody to watch and listen. Okay? You don't want to say, if you don't agree with us, don't listen. No one would do that. That even goes in non-political things. It was the most illogical, bizarre, crazy thing I have ever seen in the history of cable news television, that Cavuto episode. Now, I want to tell you guys about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas's daughter just got married. That's nice, and she works there at the company with him. If you are retired or planning on retiring at any point in your life, you want to call Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations if you tell him you heard about him on this program. And no matter where you're located in America, you can take advantage of the no-charge phone consultation. Tell him what your situation is. Tell him what your goals are. Tell him what you want out of retirement, even if you're already in it. Talk to him about annuities. Annuities are amazing. I did not realize how many people I knew that were invested in annuities till Joe Thomas joined the program, because my friends are always telling me, oh yeah, I got an annuity. Someone I know, they told me their annuity, they get that, they get the income. And they said that's how they pay their property taxes and their homeowners insurance every year. They don't worry about it. They just use the money they get from the annuity, and their property taxes and their homeowners insurance is paid for every year with that. And people have all kinds of different things. But anyway, give him a call. His number is 561-644-8255. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals looking very strong this morning after giving us a nice buying opportunity last week. Gold was up $6 yesterday, closing out the day at $2,316.20 the ounce. Silver lost 42 cents, was down to $29.24. Platinum lost $17 at $954. And palladium was down to $21, closing out the day at $8.75. This morning we've got all of the metals up nicely, with gold up $9.20 right now at $2,325.40. We have been over $23.30 so far. Silver $29.73 the ounce. That's up 50 cents. Platinum up $10 at $964. And palladium up $17 at $8.92. So the markets are holding very nicely at our support levels for gold and silver.
That's amazing. Are there, when it comes to the gold and silver, are there some different products where the premiums might be going up soon, that if people have a certain thing that they like the Silver Eagles, they should get in now? Or how are those looking?
Yeah, definitely on Silver Eagles and silver and gold Eagles, the premiums are seeming to edge higher right now. So especially on your Silver Eagles, you want to take advantage of the lower end right now that we're seeing in those. But pretty much all the silver products and gold products are very reasonably priced still.
Yeah, and so you Silver Eagle guys, this is the time. All right, well, give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. He's located in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of the street. And if you missed the address or the phone number, you can get them both on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right, back after this.
For breakfast, now Steve.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Steve here. Did you see Trump's speech in Vegas over the weekend, Steve?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's the one where he talked about eliminating the tip tax. In the middle of that speech, his teleprompter went out, and he was pissed about it. And he was actually talking about not paying the teleprompter people because it's happened a few times. And he was really ticked about it. He should be. It costs money. You go up there. He talks off the top of his head, but I think the teleprompter is up there so he gets the names right of all the local politicians and stuff, probably, right? I mean, like when we do our commercials, the live commercials, like William Youngerman, I've got all that off the top of my head, but I always look down for the phone number and the address just to make sure I get it right. That's what the teleprompter kind of thing is for Trump. But in fact, I think the teleprompter malfunction is maybe why he decided, well, hey, let's just get rid of the tip tax. I think he used that to kind of fill in what the teleprompter we was missing. But on MSNBC, they had complete meltdowns over this. It's amazing to me, over his reaction to the teleprompter. Nicole Wallace and Mika in Scarborough. This is Mika Brzezinski with her creepy husband, Joe Scarborough. And they're talking about the Trump speech in Vegas.
Again, it's just like the way we started this show. Trump is literally crazy on stage, and I say it not in a good way. Not well, not fit, not...
Now, keep in mind, Joe Biden's going number 2 in his pants on stage at D-Day with the president of France, but Trump's the one not fit.
Not in a good way. Not well, not fit... not mentally capable of holding together a sentence when his prompter goes down. And yet Biden is constantly covered for being old, but yet travels onto the world stage doing speeches, dinners, important ceremonies.
Yeah, going number 2 in his pants.
Recognizing people who suffered and survived D-Day,
Right.
spending time with them, connecting with them. You see it all on video. Except if you go to these places or you talk to those Republicans, you see the one time where he couldn't find his chair.
Well, but even
Or
that
his
was a
doctor.
lie. It's disinformation. It's
That's when he went number 2 when he couldn't. He was bending down for the toilet. Yeah, I couldn't find the toilet, so he said, "Hey, this is good a place as any. Do you mind, Macron?" You know. But you know, this. You know, since they talk about D-Day, I'll use a World War II reference. I mean, this is Goebbels right here. Don't believe your lying eyes. Okay, you know, he's fit. He's doing it. He's meeting with people. He's connecting through the odor. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, guys. It's JJ from Maine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he couldn't find his chair. He couldn't find his toilet. You know, the funny thing about that is she actually said that one time he couldn't find his chair. Like that is some kind of a normal, like that's a normal behavior.
Yes, exactly. There were no chairs. What
do you mean chair? Exactly. She said that with yeah, no, he couldn't find the door to get into the White House. The Secret Service had to, whistle, "Joe, over here, buddy." I mean, listen, I took care of my mom for 10 years, and the last 3 or 4, it just got worse and worse and worse.
Incontinence.
I'm pretty familiar with adult diapers and the whole thing, and to me, it just looked. The one thing to keep in mind is that obviously he can't control it, and when he bent over like that, if you think about it, that's the way. I mean, that's kind of like a normal position to do something. I mean,
Well, here's the thing, okay. Sometimes people have accidents. I've never had an accident like that, okay? I don't want you to think I'm confessing something. But if somebody that has their wits about them has an accident, which can happen, you don't bend down like you're sitting on the toilet on stage next to the president of France at the D-Day. You stand there and you tell your wife, you don't have to tell her, she could smell it. You look at Macron's face, but you stand there and just hope nobody notices. He bent down in the position. That's how out of it he is.
Yeah, I think he was thinking maybe there was a seat, but when he did that, his body just let go, and it.
So you've seen the video?
Yeah, I've seen the video, and I just think and it's nothing to be. I mean, yeah, it's pretty damn sad because he's the president of the United States, but for adults, I mean, it's just part of getting older. But I mean, he's the freaking president, and he couldn't find his chair, and he was looking for a toilet or whatever, and that's just. I don't even know if that's the worst thing that happened that day, but.
Well, no. Listen. This happened days ago, and I have not brought it up because it's not a pleasant thing to talk about. I only brought it up today, not to make fun or be cute. They caught ISIS at the southern border. If there was a terrorist attack like on 9/11, we do not have a functioning government that can handle a national crisis or emergency. Because there's no chain of command. He's in charge. There's no one who can give legal orders. It would be chaos.
Across the southern border, Brian, it's so damn sad. Trump gets in, and maybe because I just think it's an if, not a when. But when it to just make a quick comment or two here. To me, they're like a bait in a chumming the water, bait and switch sort of network where they tell you the truth during particular times. Of the calendar year or of for a couple of years, but so they're like a 90% truth, 10% lie. And then as it gets closer to the election, they go to 80-20, then to 50-50. And when there's a big moment, they have no problem participating in a false flag, and reporting and being on the side of the deep state.
Yeah.
Like a true flag, or when it comes to telling the truth during the election, I mean, go to like 90% lies and 10% truth, but they've sucked everybody in. And once people get into the habit of watching you, and they get to like the anchors and like the people, when you like somebody, you are on the PA.
But this is what I'm trying to understand. What possessed them, Cavuto and Paul Ryan, to go on the air and do an entire segment telling the Trump people, "We hate Trump, we hate you, we don't want you to watch us"? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense.
Because they've got complaints that they're too conservative.
Oh my goodness. Come on.
The word pompous and more towards the back end of that word.
Yes, yeah.
mind with regard to both of those guys. It was kind of like they were made for each other. But I just think that, you know, when you like somebody, and this is the public that are watching Fox News, they get to like people, and when you like somebody, you dismiss.
Like I give you an example with liberals. Okay, you heard me talking about those liberal stalkers on the cruise. Okay, now, this is a textbook example. Okay, those. By the way, we have security from the cruise line on the next cruise that's going to be protecting us, Steve. I'm kind of embarrassed that this was brought up. I mean, some bodyguards. It was really bad. It was really bad. But I was talking to somebody about it. They paid thousands of dollars to the cruise line to go. I mean, so who did they hurt? Our advertising works. you know what I mean? You want when you're in the media, you want everyone to watch you. You know, like there was this Captain America with the lady, you know, came out a couple years ago. She said, "I don't want conservatives to watch the movie," when she was promoting the movie. That's insane. Who would say something so stupid? Exactly.
To me, it's like you just get this hate dislike bias, and you don't believe things. But with Fox, they get people it's on the opposite end where they like and sort of.
Have you guys seen that new movie Civil War?
No, I have not.
It's with Kirsten Dunst is in it. It's really good. Okay, this is a perfect example of a smart business move by the studio. It's believe it or not, even though it's about a U.S. Civil War in the 21st century, it's a nonpartisan movie. The Civil War is between the United States government, which has a rogue president who is in his third term, and the Western Alliance. The Western Alliance is made up of California and Texas, who can't agree on it. If it's dates, yeah, come on. I mean, it doesn't get more polar. So I saw the director on an interview, and they said, this is not realistic. Texas and California have an alliance together? What'd you do this? And he said, because I didn't want to make it, I wanted the movie to attract all audiences. I didn't want it to be conservative or liberal. You got Texas and California together. It's about a civil war, but it's not political, because we want everybody to come see the movie. So Paul Ryan and Neil Cavuto, Paul Ryan's a government guy. Neil Cavuto fancies himself a Wall Street businessman. You know, business wise, I'd fire him for doing that segment. If I went on the air every day and said, if you don't agree with me and Steve, don't listen to us. How long do you think it'd be before Steve or management would come in and say, Brian, what are you doing? After the
principal's office.
I would fire Cavuto and Paul Ryan for what they did yesterday.
Yeah, I saw. You know what? I could only watch so much of that. I just had to. I get the gist of what they're doing, and I'm just like, my God, these two are like, why don't you guys get a room or something?
Get a room, yeah. Get a room, yeah. And you even hear Cavuto. Oh, you're such a thin, striking man. He was like turned on by Paul Ryan. All right, take care. Good to hear from you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm from Deerfield. How are you guys today?
Hey, Brian.
Brian, I think it may be very simple. You just have some really dumb people in management at Fox.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. How can you turn your back on the biggest political move in probably the history of the world that we're seeing right here with MAGA? It's huge. And on that, you can put in Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. And I got to tell you, the guy who I thought was rock solid for Trump was Hannity. And Hannity kind of gave him a little grief on that two-part interview about a week ago. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about, but
I think you solved it. Stupid management. Stupid management.
You don't know what they're doing, and it's really pathetic to watch.
I'd fire them.
Weekends, during weekends, so.
Yeah, you're spot on the money. You're spot on. Have you seen Civil War?
No, I haven't.
It's good.
Take a look at it.
You should see it too, Steve. It's good. I bought them. To rent it was like $2 less than buying it on iTunes, so I bought it. It's good. It's good. It's short. It's not deep. It's more of an action movie than anything else, but it's good.
Think and examine things?
The final scene, no real spoilers, the final battle is in the Oval Office. It's really good. It's really good. I liked it. All right, take it out. You'll like it. You'll like it too, Steve. You like action movies?
Yeah.
Civil War, the new one. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Kirsten Dunst is in it. It's not a deep movie, and it's not the greatest movie ever made. It's just a fun movie. You know what I mean? That's it. It's not Schindler's List or
or something, or anything. But it's a fun movie. There aren't too many good movies these days that come out that are new, right?
What's coming out in the next week?
That are good. Okay. Well, listen.
Shyamalan.
Oh, the M. Night Shyamalan movie looks really good, and I think. What? The one in the concert. The one in the serial killer one.
The other one is.
What? I think it's the same movie. There's no. Shyamalan has 2 movies coming out at the same time. Get out of town. Really? Okay. The concert movie and the serial killer movie are the same movie. The serial killer's in the concert. Okay, that one looks good. Well, anyway, listen, guys, we're out of time for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, go to MyPillow.com. The MyPillow mattress topper is free shipping, money-back guarantee, and up to 50% off. I sleep on it every night. It'll change your life. Promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at MyPillow.com. Those of you on hold, stand by. We will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And if you're on hold now and you hang on till tomorrow at 6 a.m., you will be first in line. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. My name is Brian Craig. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Thanks for listening.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new, subscribe. And everyone who's already subbed, like the video, okay? Appreciate it. Take care. I will see you all.